everybody, it's Doug Brumley, the Fledgling Brewer. Thanks for tuning in. I'm about to dry hop this IPA. If you watched the last video, you saw that I was got the hops out, Bravo hops, 1 ounce, and I was going to dry hop this the following day. Didn't get around to it, and I also wanted to do some research because I wasn't quite sure how to dry hop effectively. I had dry hopped a beer before, but it was sort of, I just threw some hops in there in a bag, and it turned out okay. It didn't seem particularly aromatic or whatever, so I wanted to do a little more research this time. I listened to, particularly, I went online and listened to a Brew Strong podcast from 07, I believe, 2007, and in it, Jamil Zainasheff and John Palmer, who host that show, they had a guest on as well, and they discussed all the different dry hopping techniques, and there are tons of them, whether to use a bag, no bag, pellet hops, whole hops, how long of exposure to the hops, etc. Put it in the keg, put it in secondary, primary, whatever. So there's just all over the map opinions about this. I want to do some research and find that out. They talked on the show about the negative effect of dry hopping is sometimes you can get a grassy note from it's a plant material. So you want to try to avoid long exposure time. And the recipe I had that I got for this said 10 days of contact time, dry hopping time with these hops. That seems long to me, so I was a little nervous about that. Coincidentally, this week I also got the new Brew Your Own magazine. It's the 15th anniversary issue. There's 15 tips from the great tips from 15 great pros, and one in particular caught my eye. It was Mitch Steele from Stone Brewing Company. I guess he's the production manager, head brewer there, and he's got a tip about amplifying your hops. So I was like, this is perfect timing. He talks in here, 2 of the specific hints he gives are: 1, multiple dry hops. Pull your hops out after a few days and dry hop with a fresh batch of dry hops. This great technique maximizes fresh hop flavors in your dry hop. And secondly, he says don't go over 7 to 10 days of contact time when dry hopping. This will help avoid leaching excessively vegetal, stemmy hop character in your beer. So that was perfect. I was like, this is exactly what I need to hear. And I'm going to try it this way now. So I'm going to take this 1 ounce of hops, and I'm going to split it in half. And today I'm going to put in half an ounce into this better bottle. It's plastic carboy, no bag. Jamil Zainasheff says he doesn't use a bag because he doesn't like to sanitize the bag. It makes sense to me. Why do an extra step? And we're going to see how that goes. I'm going to let it go for 5 days with the half an ounce. Then I'm going to take, after 5 days, I'm going to put I have another better bottle just like this one. I'm going to rack this beer off of the half ounce of hops into the new empty vessel, and then put the other half in there and let that go for 5 days. So it will still be a total of 10 days exposed to dry hops, but half an ounce at a time. Okay, so I've washed my hands. I've got the hops unopened. I'm going to go ahead and take the lid off of this. First I'm going to take the airlock out so it doesn't leak water in there. It's distilled water in there. I'm not too worried about it, but still. Take that off. Now, that's smelling good. Yeah, I like that. Now I'm going to cut this off. I could be precise and measure it with a scale, but in this case I'm just going to kind of wing it. These are smelling good. Wow, those are some nice. That's nice. It's strong. I've read varying reviews on Bravo as a dry hop. This recipe actually calls for Zeus as a dry hop, and my local store didn't have any Zeus, so Bravo was recommended as a substitute. So I'm trying that, and we'll see how it turns out. But it may not be the greatest dry hop, but you never know until you try. That's what's great about homebrewing. So I'm going to try to put half of this in. We'll see. I don't know if they'll sink. Yep, they do sink. All right, great. Because I do want them to get in there and get to the bottom. They sink right in. Let's see if I can estimate about half of this. Some are floating. I think they sink once they get full, based on what I've heard, but who knows. There. I'm going to say that's half. Might even be a little more than half. but they're floating around in there. I don't know if you can tell on the camera there, but some are floating, some went to the bottom, I believe. Anyway, just going to put this back on. Just going to let some air out as I do this. And that is it. I mean, it doesn't get much easier in brewing than dry hopping. I mean, you just throw your hops in there and let it go to town. But yeah, I'll be interested to see what kind of aroma this brings, because these really do smell good. And you know, that's all that dry hopping does. For those who don't know, dry hopping is just for aroma. So anyway, that's it. Also, just to update you on the Belgian wit, I have kegged. It's been in keg for 6 days with carbonation on it. As for carbonation, I use the set it and forget it method of force carbing. I don't do a quick force carb where I crank the pressure way up and shake it or try to carbonate it in a day or whatever. I just basically do set it and forget it, where you put it on your serving pressure, which in my case is like 10 or 11 usually, and leave it on that for like 2 weeks, and then it's ready to go, fully carved, and it's the right amount. So about 6 days into that, it's going to be ready to kind of taste. After 1 week, it really tastes carbonated, and then the second week kind of just polishes it off. Well, we're about a week from drinking the Belgian wit, and we're about 10 days plus 2 weeks. So we're getting close on this one, but this one's going to be worth it, I think. It smells good. So that's it for today. Hope you guys are having a great weekend, and I'll talk to you soon. All right. Thanks. Bye.